You feel it, but you don't understand it. And that's how the signs keep going unnoticed. They come as chills that don't match the temperature, vague pressure with no clear cause, impulses that aren't pain, but don't feel normal either. You sense your body asking for something, as if something is about to happen. But it doesn't, and then you tell yourself it must be exhaustion, stress, nothing serious. But that's exactly when everything starts to fall apart. Because what you call discomfort, the body recognizes as a warning, a vibrational code that activates when it's ready to release what has been stuck for years. The body doesn't wait for your understanding. It follows a different logic. Release doesn't start with a visible shake. It begins with a series of signs so subtle, most people overlook them. And when you overlook them, you block them. When you push too hard, you interrupt them. When you wait too long, you delay them. Today, you'll discover what almost no one notices, the exact moment when your body decides it's ready to let go. There are 9 hidden signs, 9 impressions that come before real healing, and you don't need to believe in them. You just need to remember the times you felt them and didn't listen. Because they were there, they've always been there. And if you learn to recognize them, you'll stop relying on force and start releasing through awareness. Most people believe the body only begins to release when the shaking starts. When the skin tingles, the muscles tighten, and everything trembles from the inside. But that's just the climax, the tip of the process. True release starts long before that. It hints, it prepares, it needs space. Before the body lets go, it gives signals. And these signals aren't vague. They are specific, recurring, and well-structured. The problem is, almost no one has learned how to recognize them, because we were taught to wait for visible reactions. But the body doesn't speak loudly, it whispers. And when that whisper isn't heard, the process comes to a halt. What seemed like resistance is often just sensory ignorance. Today, all of that will change. You're about to access the internal map of release, not the one written in books, but the one revealed from within. 9 signs, 9 keys. Each one opens a crack where there used to be tension. By recognizing these signs, you don't just avoid blockages, you create a field of permission so deep, the body understands. Here, I can let go. It's not about technique. It's not about belief. It's about listening and somatic language. In ancient Hermetic traditions, Thoth said that every process of transmutation begins with invisible movement. What vibrates first is what no one sees. It's the invisible that changes the visible. And that's why so many fail, because they want to see before they feel. In this video, you're going to discover the 9 hidden signs that come before the body's vibrational awakening. And once you know what to look for, the process becomes inevitable. Release begins. Not because you forced it, but because, for the first time, you understood the body's secret language. And the body only releases what's been trapped when it realizes that, finally, someone is listening. In the ancient initiation chambers of Egypt, silence was more valuable than gold. A ritual didn't begin with a question. It began with listening. Anyone who dared to cross the threshold without first sensing the signs within their own body was sent back into darkness. Because it doesn't matter how many keys you hold. If the body hasn't opened from within, no door will stay open from the outside. Thoth, the scribe of the unseen, didn't teach formulas. He encoded frequencies. And among his teachings, there was one that few truly understood. Every visible movement is born from the invisible. Every release is preceded by an internal tremble. That was the law, and it hasn't changed. The body never acts randomly. It follows cycles. It responds to fields. In the Hermetic tradition, the moment of release was always preceded by a state known as the phase of the hidden trembling. It wasn't an external ritual. It was a soft collapse of control. The initiate would begin to notice strange shifts, changes in breathing, temperature fluctuations, a subtle vibration rising through the body with no clear origin. That was the signal. If ignored, the process would break. But if surrendered to, something would open. Listening was the only way to activate it. And that kind of listening didn't come from the mind. It came from a deeper place, heavier, often forgotten. A place where time holds no power and language has no use. These teachings were distorted, erased, discredited. But they survived in fragments, hidden in ecstatic dances, trance traditions, and writings that confuse the logical mind. What the ancients knew, and what you are beginning to remember, is simple. The body comes before awareness. It begins the process long before the mind takes notice. Those who recognize the first signs access release without disrupting their natural flow. Not every symptom wants to be cured. Some simply want to be understood. The body doesn't respond to logical commands. It operates through a continuous, silent, involuntary sensory reading. Stephen Porges called this neuroception, the unconscious ability of the nervous system to detect safety, threat, or neutrality in the environment without needing your permission. That reading determines whether the body will retreat or begin a process of release. And when it begins, it does so quietly. Breath that shifts on its own, sudden chills, tiny spasms, a wave of relaxation with no clear reason. Science tries to explain it using terms like ventral vagal response, autonomic regulation, or fragmented somatic discharge. But in practice, it's simple. The body begins to release where it once only held tight, not like an explosion, but like a readjustment. Dr. Peter Levine observed that real release doesn't arrive as collapse, but as a return to the flow that was interrupted by overload, trauma, or forced silence. And when that flow comes back, it doesn't speak with words. It changes the field. In the language of biology, this is homeostasis. In the language of the soul, it's memory dissolving. What we experience as weirdness might actually be proof that the body is already reorganizing to let something go. What looked like stagnation may be the very beginning of real movement. Before the body shakes, it sends signals. There are 9 signs, 9 silent activations that indicate something deep is about to be released. They come in layers. Some go unnoticed, others confuse. But once you learn how to recognize them, the healing process speeds up because the body feels that, finally, it's being understood. The journey begins with the first 3. Sign 1, micromuscle spasms, small involuntary contractions in areas like the shoulders, eyelids, fingers, or jaw. They may look like tics, but they're not. They are tension points starting to dissolve their own rigidity. It's the body testing exit routes. Don't correct them. Don't hold back. Let the impulse complete its cycle. Sign 2, waves of heat or chills without a clear reason, a warmth rising through your torso, or a chill running down your back, even in a neutral environment. These shifts don't come from the weather. They come from your inner field. They are neurophysiological adjustments that show retained energy is being released. If they appear, quiet your mind. The body is clearing the path. Sign 3, spontaneous changes in breathing your breath, changes without you realizing. It becomes deeper, shallower, or more uneven. Yawns, sighs, or sudden pauses aren't signs of dysfunction. They are responses. The vagus nerve is recalibrating your internal rhythm. In that moment, just feel it. You are moving through the first real layer of release. As the signs continue to emerge, the body is not collapsing. It is reorganizing its internal field. Each sign reveals that a layer of holding is being undone. And when you begin to recognize the fourth, fifth, and sixth signs, something shifts. You stop chasing release as a single event and begin to feel it as a continuous, precise, and intelligent process. Sign for light pressure in the abdomen or hips, a strange sensation, as if something is building up at the base of your torso. It might feel like a weight in the lower belly, a subtle tension in the psoas, or a diffuse discomfort in the pelvic region. This is the gravitational center of somatic release. The body gathers energy here because it's where emotion takes root, and where the impulse for release begins to take direction. Instead of pulling away from the sensation, lean into it. Breathe deeply into that area. This is true vibrational opening. Sign 5. Internal vibration without visible movement. Your body doesn't shake on the outside, but inside, you feel a pulse, as if a frequency is moving through your bones, your organs, your spine. It's subtle, but persistent. An almost energetic motion, hard to explain. This vibration is the activation of the neuroelectrical field, reorganizing patterns that were held in place. When this happens, the body isn't restless. It's entering resonance. Don't try to make sense of it. Stay present. This is one of the clearest confirmations that release is near. Sin 6. Changes in the perception of time and space-time begins to slow down. The sense of minutes fades. The space around you may feel more distant or denser. It's as if awareness is turning inward. Some traditions call this state the vibrational threshold, a portal between tension and relief. In science, it's linked to the temporary shutdown of dominant sympathetic activity. If this happens, stay there. Don't distract yourself. You're crossing the boundary where the mind lets go of control and the body finally takes over. By the time you reach the final 3 signs, the body is already moving at a different rhythm. Release is no longer a possibility. It is a process in motion, and these final signs are the deepest ones. They don't suggest something is about to start. They reveal that the body has already decided to let go, with or without your rational permission. Sin 7. Feeling of heaviness in the limbs, or sudden relaxation. Your arms and legs may feel heavier, as if something is being drained. Or, on the other hand, you might feel sudden lightness, a collapse of tension with no effort. This change in body density is clear evidence that the emotional charge is being metabolized. It's the body redistributing energy, turning what was once holding into freedom through softness. If it happens, don't try to adjust. Just let your body sink. It is grounding, releasing, and recalibrating. Sign 8. Involuntary eye movements. REM. While awake, your eyes begin to move on their own, even when closed. You might feel slight visual shifts, or notice your eyeballs trembling beneath your eyelids. This phenomenon is similar to what happens during REM sleep, but here it appears while you're awake. It's the release of somatic material tied to visual, spatial, or emotional memory. When the eyes move like this, the brain is reconnecting internal images with the body, without needing conscious memory. Don't focus. Don't resist. The release is happening quietly, where language can't reach. Sign 9. Unexplainable urge to lie down or stay still. A sudden impulse to rest, as if the body is saying, this is a safe place. It's not fatigue, it's not laziness. It's somatic intelligence guiding you into healing stillness. By seeking the ground or a steady surface, the body is creating a grounding field where the discharge can complete itself. This is the final sign. total permission. When it shows up, don't delay. You've reached the point where the body no longer needs the mind to continue. Jasper didn't know what he was trying to resolve. He just knew that his body wasn't resting. Some nights, sleep came like a sudden drop, deep, dreamless. Other times, he'd lie awake for hours, unable to name what he felt. It wasn't pain. It wasn't anxiety. It was something else. As if something was building up inside him, but with no shape, no direction. And the hardest part was that, during the day, everything worked fine. He did what he had to do. But something in his presence was always drifting, like part of his body was stuck in another time. One morning, in the silence of an empty house, something different happened. A brief tremor in his left foot rose through his calf, like the body was blinking from the inside. He didn't understand it, but he didn't block it either. He sat on the floor, stayed still, and then waves came. A strange warmth in the chest, a yawn that didn't feel like sleep, and a pressure in his hip that made him shift as if he was settling into himself. He wasn't searching for answers, he was just observing. His eyes began to twitch, small spasms beneath his eyelids. He felt his legs grow heavy, his breath slowed down. It was as if his body was cleaning itself, but without any drama. It was technical, quiet, deep. In the end, there was no catharsis, no tears, no glorious relief. Just an inner space he had never known before. Still, solid, whole, there, without techniques, without effort, without performance. The body released. Since that day, Jasper never looked for the tremor again. He started looking for the signs. And whenever one of them appeared, he knew it wasn't the end. It was the beginning. The beginning of the body returning to itself, through the door that only opens when no one is trying to force it. The biggest obstacle isn't the absence of signs, it's the rush to feel them. The mind, conditioned to chase quick results, turns the body into a field of expectation. But the body doesn't bloom under pressure. It shuts down, it withdraws, it goes quiet. And when that happens, the sabotaging thoughts arrive. Maybe this doesn't work for me. I must be doing it wrong. My body doesn't respond like others do. That's the breaking point. Not because something is failing, but because you started measuring the invisible with the tools of anxiety. The body doesn't operate by command, it operates by permission. And the only way to activate that permission is to remove the weight of expectation and replace it with presence. What blocks release is not the absence of process. It's the attempt to control its rhythm with the mind. The body already knows what to do, but it needs you to step aside. Transmutation begins when you trade control for listening. When you stop waiting for a sign and begin to notice the ones already happening. It's not about forcing a state, it's about creating a field. That field is born when you breathe, feel, and stay, without seeking, without testing, without demanding. Real presence is the greatest accelerator of somatic release, because it tells the body, I'm here, and I won't interfere. And only in that space, free from pressure, do the 9 signs finally find a way through. They don't need to be summoned, they just need to be recognized. Everything you once felt, but never had a name for, now has shape. It has language, it has direction. The 9 signs we explored here aren't just curiosities of the body, they are living codes of transition. Markers that show the body is ready to release what no longer belongs, what weighs without form, what silently makes us sick. They don't appear like a spectacle, they arrive like invitations. And when you learn to recognize them, something deep shifts. You stop treating the body as an obstacle and begin to treat it as an oracle. From this point forward, What once seemed random, a pressure in the hips, a sudden chill, a sigh without reason, becomes a sign, becomes a portal. This is the true power of somatic listening, to turn the ordinary into code, the invisible into a path, the body into a compass. But don't be mistaken, none of this works if it's treated like a formula. These signs are not for sale. They belong to the space you create when you step out of the center and allow the body's intelligence to take over. And that intelligence doesn't need to be taught, it needs to be released. You don't activate release through force, you activate it through presence. That's how the healing state is born, not as a miracle, but as a natural response to the right internal environment. And you are the one who creates that environment, by breathing, by feeling, by staying. Because every time one of these signs appears, you'll know it's not discomfort, it's a beginning. It's not noise, it's instruction. As Rainer Maria Rilke once said, the body is the dwelling place of the soul, and everything it needs to say begins through it. From this day forward, may you not only seek release, but learn to recognize it when it approaches subtly, without fanfare, yet shifting everything around you. Because the body doesn't demand explanation, it offers response, but only to those willing to stay in silence, to stay in listening, to stay even when nothing seems to be happening. It's in that space between discomfort and relief that true movement begins. Not as an event, but as a return. Those who learn to listen to the body no longer chase miracles, they welcome signs, and turn each one into a portal back to themselves. Because the body knows, it has always known. It was just waiting for someone to finally say, I'm here, and I'm listening. If this content stirred something real in you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. It helps sustain the field and supports us in continuing to create content with soul, science, and purpose. Write in the comments, I recognize the signs, and I make space for release. And if any of the 9 signs have already shown up in your body, even in subtle ways, share your experience. You might help someone realize they're not alone in this quiet process. Send this video to someone you feel is carrying something in their body, something they've never known how to explain. And don't stop here. Click on the screen and dive into another transformative video from the channel. The body never truly goes silent. It only waits for the right moment to be heard. And when that moment comes, release doesn't ask for permission. It simply happens.